The debate between fans has been raging on this week. To boycott or to attend, that is the question. Hello good people, thanks once again for tuning in to another video on this channel, Real Football UK. My name's Ian and thank you for joining me. So the time is nearly upon us. Newcastle United season kicks off on Sunday at home to Arsenal, and there's been calls all summer for Newcastle fans to boycott that match. And it's been a debate that's been going on and on all summer across social media, and it's coming to a head as we get closer and closer to the game. This isn't a black and white issue in my opinion. This is more complex than simply saying you must boycott or you should still go and it doesn't make any difference whether you boycott or not. It's more nuanced than that, and everyone's different. Everyone's got to come in from this from a slightly different angle. As it stands, I don't know whether I'm going to go on Sunday or not. It's, you know, I'm recording this currently, it's Thursday, and I haven't made my mind up whether I'll be in St James's Park on Sunday or not. Now at the start of the summer, I was absolutely adamant that I wasn't going to go to the Arsenal game, and actually that I was probably going to not go to St James's Park all season. The more the summer's gone on, the more I've come to realise actually this isn't a straightforward issue. For me, personally, I can only speak from my point of view on this, so everything that I say in this video is my viewpoint and my thoughts. I think the problem we've got is because we don't have that one united thing, people just lose interest in the idea of a boycott. I think if you feel part of a movement, then it's easier to persuade other people to join that movement. What we're left with is lots of individuals taking action on a personal basis on something from their point of view. Now I'm not bad-mouthing any of these protest groups at all, because I think they've all got genuine good reasons for doing what they're doing. Unfortunately, it doesn't work when you've got 7, 8, 9 different protest groups all saying something slightly different and you're trying to unite a massive fan base that's as diverse as Newcastle's. It just doesn't work, and I think that's the reason why potentially we're not going to see a huge boycott on Sunday. And there is evidence that only a small percentage of people are going to boycott. Take our recent home friendly against St Etienne, for example. The crowd was about 16,000. Now, in our previous home friendlies in pre-season, we've kind of averaged crowds of about 23,000. So that is actually a decrease of 30%, which is quite significant as a number, isn't it? But if you put that figure into the capacity of St James's Park, 30%, really, we're looking at about a 15,000 reduction. It's still going to give us an attendance of about 40,000. Now, that is still significant, don't get me wrong. It would definitely be a story, and it would definitely have a bit of an impact. But would 15,000 people not attending for one game make any difference? That's the point I keep coming back to. A lot of these protests for boycotting is simply aimed at one game. To me, that's an issue, because if you boycott, you either boycott the whole thing, home, away, everything, or you just don't do it. Now, I know there are some people boycotting for the long haul. In fact, I know people who have boycotted pretty much since Ashley began, since he treated Keegan really poorly. I actually know one or two people who haven't been to St James's Park, or have been very, very rarely, should I say, in the sort of 11 years since that's happened. And fair play to those people who have boycotted for the long haul and stuck by their guns and stood up for what they believed to be right. Unfortunately, I just think if after the Arsenal game we go back to crowds of mid-40s to high 40,000s, what is the point? That's just, for me, that's just the issue. I just think if we're not all going to do it, it's not going to work. And I get that those people who do boycott on Sunday but then go to other games will feel that they've stood their ground and made their point. And again, I've got absolutely nothing against those people at all. And that is their decision. And I might even be one of those people. I don't know yet. I haven't decided whether I'm going on Sunday. Genuinely haven't decided whether I'm going on Sunday yet. It is absolutely tearing me apart making this decision. But the thing that I'm struggling most with, really, is that I just want to go and watch football. I just want to go and watch my team play football. And I know Ashley's a terrible owner. I know what he's doing to the club. I hate him for that. But this is what I love doing. I love going to watch Newcastle United play football. We've had bad owners in the past. Luckily for me, I wasn't old enough to have the really bad owners that we've had in the past. And I kind of grew up in obviously a golden age. I was lucky enough to be a teenager through the Keegan years, basically. But why should one man make me stop doing what I love doing? Why should one person have that power to stop me doing that? The thing that I really battle with is the fact that I've got 3 daughters. 2 of them are just 8 and 6, and they went to their first home game at the end of last season. They watched the Southampton game, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. I went to my first game when I was 6 years old, and I can remember it vividly. It was a 1-1 draw against West Ham. I sat on the barrier in the Gallagher end. I spent most of the game looking at the scoreboard, and I fell in love with the club on that day. I loved it, and I've never stopped loving going. And I want my daughters to be the same. I want them to be passionate Newcastle fans. I don't want them to miss out because of Mike Ashley. So this is like another element to this story, and this is what I mean by everyone's story is personal, everyone's story is different. It's a big factor in what I do, I think, in how I approach it in terms of my daughters. Now, they're not going to go to every game, but I would like them to go to a handful of games this season. And yes, we could do away games, but it's St James's Park, isn't it, as well? That's the place. That's the place we all love going to. I don't want to... I mean, I do want to take them to away games, but I don't want them to only go to away games, you know? So that's a big factor, and it's a serious one that is, again, really tearing me apart. It's really making me feel, testing my resolve with the club and what to do. And I am absolutely in a quandary about this. I think if there was a genuinely huge boycott, well organised, massive, all behind one cause, all behind one idea, I would be really inclined to go with it. But the thing is, I have protested Mike Ashley before. I have stood up to Mike Ashley in the past, and I'm quite proud for doing that. When Keegan was sacked, we played Hull City soon after, and we organised a boycott on a forum that I was a part of at the time, and we managed to get, there's probably about 200 or 300 people involved in the boycott, which it unfortunately wasn't that many in terms of when the ground's got 52,000 people in. And we walked in, I can't remember what minute we walked in on, but we walked in on a certain minute and the ground was full. So we just kind of walked in, nobody noticed. It didn't impact anything. And even though we stood up for what we thought was right, it had no impact whatsoever. It really didn't do anything. It was kind of a waste of time, if I'm honest. The next home game, nothing happened and the ground was full again. And that's just what happens at Newcastle. And maybe that's okay. I don't know, maybe that's all right. I've also stopped going to as many games as I used to go to. I'm a season ticket holder. I live 2 hours away from St James's Park, as you can probably tell from my accent. So it's a 2-hour drive there, 2-hour drive back. But I would rarely miss a home game for, you know, 20 years. I would rarely miss a home game. But more recently, it's been really easy not to go. And I've made that choice because of Mike Ashley. I have chosen not to go to matches because of Mike Ashley. And it's kind of funny because, or ironic, I guess you could say, because when I took my daughters to the first game they went to against Southampton, afterwards I said to my dad, I said, you know what, I kind of miss coming to the game so often. I'm missing coming to the games as often, and next season I want to come to more games. I want to make sure that I'm at St James's Park more regularly. And yes, partly because of Rafa, that was the reason, because things were going well and it felt like the club were on an upwards trajectory in a way, although always hamstrung with Ashley. And I was angry when Rafa went, obviously, like everyone was. But the closer I get to Sunday, the more I think, well, I do want to keep going to games. I still want to go. I don't want to miss out on that. I'm still excited about the season. I'm still excited about the Premier League season. I'm still excited about Newcastle. Even though the squad's weaker, we don't have as good a manager. To me, I just want to go and support the team, you know? As I say, this isn't a black and white thing. I hope that this video has at least shown that I have a story with grey areas in it. And I think that a lot of other people do. And yes, some people will see it as black and white, and that's fine. I've no problem with anyone who's decided to boycott and will follow through with it, and who will boycott for the long haul. You know, I've got nothing against those people, and I've also got nothing against people who have decided to go as well, because they will have reasons for that. And no one should be telling anyone else what to do. No other fans. What I've really hated about this summer more than anything is how divided the fan base is, and how many arguments there are between Newcastle supporters. It's stupid, because we all want the same thing. We all want Newcastle to win, right? We all want the same thing, but everyone's decision should be respected. And I just think that nobody should have to justify anything to anyone else. I really don't. I really just think, let people make their own decisions. So, will I be attending the Arsenal match? Well, I've already said a couple of times, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do yet. I genuinely, at this moment in time, I don't know if I'm going to the game or not. I will just decide on the day, I think. I think I'll decide on the morning, and that will be my decision. But either way, it's one of the hardest decisions in terms of being a football fan that I've ever had to make. And I hate the fact I'm in this situation, but here we are. And it's down to Mike Ashley that he's made us feel like this. And I won't ever forgive him for that. There's my thoughts on the situation. I think it's complicated. I think everyone's got a different view on it. And I would love to know what your view is. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think about the boycott? Are you boycotting? Are you attending? If so, why? If you're boycotting, why? Let me know. Let's have a friendly debate in the comments. Let's not turn nasty. Let's keep it nice. And let's respect each other, and just see if we can kind of talk about this in a friendly way. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, please hit the like button and the subscribe button so you don't miss anything else off this channel. And I will see you really soon for another video after the Arsenal game.